Can we talk about Jupiter retrograde in real life? Like, it's just fascinating to see these things in real life. Like, Gemini is the apartment complex, Jupiter is men. Everybody I talk to either has a man coming back into their life, they're getting. Okay, one of my homeboys, and he has Sagittarius in his chart. He's a Scorpio, Pluto, and Sag. I saw him 2 days ago. I heard somebody saying my name. And, I look around and it's him. He's like, yo, I'm back. I'm like, you're back. Jupiter retrograde in Gemini, men back in the apartment complex. The North Node is trine. The North Node in Aries is trine, Venus and Sag. And I said new fathers. We're definitely going to be seeing new fathers. I think he just had a baby. His new phone number starts with 551 and he's 25 years old. 5, Leo, the number of children, the number of kids. I see even the aspects in real life. He came over here. Jupiter's retrograde in my 12th house. 12th house, Mary Jane, drugs, alcohol. So of course, he comes over, we blaze, okay? Jupiter retrograde it's transiting my 12th house, the house of blazing, the house of tree, okay? Dude's coming back. It's not just romantic, men as a whole, older brothers. But we have a whole conversation about men and women, about how women aren't held accountable, how women are viewed as perfect. Side note, I'm starting Manstrology, Jupiter retrograde in Gemini. First of all, I have the Aquarian Angle Academy, which is very Jupiterian and Geminian, okay? But I'm starting Manstrology, which has nothing to do with astrology, but everything with supporting men and holding women accountable. And I told him about that. And I thought about that as soon as Jupiter went retrograde. I didn't do it because Jupiter went retrograde. Another side note, I tell people to just stop and see what the universe provokes in your life. Step back and stop controlling everything. Sit down and look at what the universe does and learn retrogrades and learn transits. But he's a really emotionally intelligent man. Jupiter retrograde in my 12th house, witnessing a man's emotional intelligence. And I see that with a lot of these younger men. The younger men are the women and the younger women are the men. Okay, that's a whole different conversation. But these trap boys, these 24, 25-year-old trap boys I talk to, incredibly emotionally intelligent, and they attract woman children. But men don't have support for that, which is why I'm starting Manstrology. But he's talking about all of that. And then at the end of the conversation, he thanks me for allowing him to, verbally release Jupiter retrograde in Gemini. We're going to be telling men things that we haven't told them. Men are going to be verbally releasing. We're going to be talking to men. I was talking to a friend of mine today, and she's like, these women, two of her friends, I think, sent her some men's phone numbers. New men, phone numbers, Gemini. Jupiter. And if you look at your life, if you observe your life, you'll see all these retrogrades and transits happening in your life. And Jupiter retrograde in Gemini, talking to new fathers, but I mentioned the aspect, the North Node in Aries, trine Venus in Sagittarius. Why does that matter? Because what rules Sagittarius? Jupiter. So Venus transiting Sag right now is going to be very Jupiter in retrograde, okay? Really father retrograde, husband retrograde, people going far away, traveling. And I'm talking to friends. I have one friend, he hasn't been home in like a week. He's been traveling for work. Everybody I know is traveling for work. And then there's certain people, like I said, who are resting right now. They travel all the time right now, they're resting. They probably have Jupiter retrograde in their chart. But I tell people to pay attention to the world around you. Jupiter retrograde in my 12th house in Gemini, so many downloads. My spiritual teacher, 12th house, Jupiter. I done came up with this theory, the evolution of humanity through astrology. I'm basically talking about, I can't give it all. Okay, because it's a whole thing. It's gonna be a whole thing on my Patreon. But the evolution of humanity through astrology, I'm talking about how Aries is carnality and instincts, and Taurus turns instincts into senses. Gemini turns senses into thoughts. Cancer turns thoughts into feelings. Leo turns feelings into performance. And how each one of these layers of the zodiac, one of these zodiac signs explains the layers of humanity. We all have our Aries carnality. I'm going to talk about what the world would look like if it stopped at Aries. Because Aries to Taurus and Taurus to Gemini makes so much sense. Aries is carnality. Taurus is where we learn to build houses and store food and use the land to survive, okay? Gemini is where, think about Taurus, we're going to start building houses everywhere, but that's going to turn into community. And we need the ability to speak and communicate with each other. Even at the gym, Jupiter rules groups of men. What Virgo is to women, Virgo is groups of women, okay? Beyonce, groups of women. Jennifer Hudson in Dreamgirls. On her talk show, she's always having women. Justin Timberlake, a Sagittarius moon, in sync, okay? Britney Spears, a Sagittarius sun, being affiliated with Justin Timberlake. It's funny, she's a Sag sun, Aquarius moon, he's an Aquarius sun, Sag moon. But even at the gym, I'm meeting so many different men. And, you know, we're exchanging information and talking to each other. It's just pay attention. I be telling people, pay attention. Get out of your ex and get out of your feelings. Get out of your traumas. You cannot learn astrology through your trauma. That's what people be trying to do. People only care about, this is what people want to know. What can I avoid? And who can I fuck? And who can I be with? Sit down. And then next, I want to talk about that eclipse. No, was it an eclipse? No, well, full moon, child. What was it? It was the full moon. The full moon in Aries, Taurus, Gemini, we got to talk about that because that's going to teach you Uranus retrograde in Taurus. Because I'm going to just talk about it. But back to Jupiter retrograde in Gemini. Pay attention to your life. Listen to, eavesdrop, bitch. Okay? I don't want to know. I be listening to everything and everybody. I don't care about your business, baby, but you don't know. Oh, you talking about a man? Your daddy just came back into you. I'm listening to conversations at the gym. And I'm flabbergasted about how I'm signing up for this class, okay? I heard somebody talking about I talked to my dad. I haven't talked to my dad in a long time. Yes, because Jupiter retrogrades in Gemini. Your daddy gonna be on your phone. We're getting bigger cars. We're gonna be buying bigger cars. You might go from a car to a minivan or from a car to an SUV. My dad is getting a BMW X5. My mom is at the dealership now trying to get her. Pay attention to your life. I think, is that it? Oh, with this aspect, go look at my video to see how long it's going to be. I don't feel like it right now. But the North Node in Aries, trine Venus and Sagittarius, new men in your life. New boyfriends, new husbands, new male contacts, new male co-workers, new fathers. And I'm seeing new fathers all over the place. I didn't even know my neighbor's girl was pregnant. They carrying a beautiful baby girl out to the car. And I'm like, oh my God. Then my homeboy comes back. He's having kids. One of my other homeboys is talking about having kids. Ain't Venus, is it still in Scorpio? Mercury's in Scorpio or something like that. I'm real resty. I'm going to look and tell y'all. But new men, new court cases, new trips. Like, just pay attention to the world around you and get off your trauma and get off your ex and get off everything you want to avoid. Please. Truth about your car is going to come out. If you have not been dealing with your car or car maintenance, Jupiter retrograde in Gemini is going to show you that. We'll be leaving neighborhoods and apartment complexes. Gemini has a lot to do with where you live, okay? Gemini is your neighborhood. Gemini is hotels and apartment complexes. This is a time where the universe might orchestrate a promotion for you, or it might get you thinking about making more money, or growing at work, or you might get a job where you make more money, or you might feel the need to change jobs to make money, or you might need to change jobs. You might